Hello all, Namaste. My name is Prince Aryan and I'm from class 6. Today in this video, we are going to discuss the second part of active and passive voice. Basically, this video is divided into mainly three parts. In these three parts, what we're going to learn is we are going to learn about negative sentences, interrogative sentences, and imperative sentences. How to convert these kinds of sentences into passive voice. So before starting our video, I just want to recap everything that we have learned in part 1 of the active and passive voice. I have also given the video in my channel, go and check it out. So in that video, we have learned about positive sentences and active and passive voice. So can you please give us a small recapitulation of that?
Yes, dear learners, let me just recapitulate the first part of the active and passive voice. I have already told you that a sentence in order to be changed to passive voice must have a subject plus a verb and one or two objects. That is what we have already said. This is the S plus V plus O1 or 2. And with this, of course, we have also just discussed the rules of the passive voice. And regarding the rules of the passive voice, once again I can tell you that the subject of the active voice is changed as the object of the passive voice, followed by the agent by. Number two, the object of the active voice is changed as the subject of the passive voice. And number three, the verb of the active voice will be changed according to the tense rule. And number four, according to the tense rule, we have just said that as we have just learned the 12 kinds of sentences, out of the 12 kinds of sentences, only 8 kinds of sentences are to be changed into passive voice. And there, the out of the present tense, present simple, present progressive, present perfect, past tense has also the three forms: past simple, past progressive, past perfect, and C. This is past. And in future time, of course, we have only learned the two kinds of sentences, like the future simple and the future perfect. This all we have just discussed in the very first part of the passive voice, and how these 8 kinds of sentences will be converted into passive voice. We have also learned the rules of that. I think you must have been clear about that.
So friends, if you want to learn or understand the different rules of the positive sentences, if you want to learn what are active and passive voice in details, please go and check out my other videos. In that video, my grandfather has nicely explained what is active and passive voice and the different kinds of rules are also written. So be sure to watch that video for better clearance of the active and passive voice, because without that the second part you cannot understand. So grandpa, please go on.
Yes, in the second part, let me just tell you something about the kinds of the negative sentences. And there are, exactly I can just remind you that there are 5 kinds of negative sentences eligible to be changed into passive voice. And these 5 kinds are: 1. Is Amar was where plus not. Number 2. Has have had plus not. Number C. By number 3. Modal verbs plus not. Number 4. The do or does plus not. And number 5. Did plus not. Are you clear? Now let me just see the first one. The first one is Amar was where plus not. And this kind of sentence can be converted to passive voice according to the following rule. The rule is subject plus is Amar was where plus not plus being plus VPP plus by plus object. And let me give you an example that I am not writing the answer. The answer will be, the answer is not being written by me. Are you clear?
Yes.
And number 2, number 2 is has have had plus not, and it can be converted into passive voice by the following rule: subject plus has have had plus not plus been plus VPP plus by plus object. And let me give you an example. The woman has not cooked her food. The answer will be, her food has not been cooked by the woman. Number 3, modal verbs plus not. I have already told you that there are just 13 modal verbs, and the 13 modal verbs are shall, will, should, would, may, might, can, could, must, need, dare, used to, and may and might. These are just the 13 modal verbs. And if any one of the modal verbs plus not is used in a sentence, this can be converted into passive voice according to the following rule. The rule is subject plus modal verb plus not plus a be plus VPP plus by plus object. Example is that we should not disturb our teachers. Answer will be our teachers should not be disturbed by us. Are you clear?
Yes.
Yes. Number 4, do or does plus not. This can be converted into passive voice according to the following rule: subject plus ejammer plus not plus VPP plus by plus object. The example is he does not allow bad students into his class. The answer will be bad students are not allowed by him into his class. Clear?
Yes.
And the number last 5, did plus not. This will be the rule will be subject plus was or were plus VPP was were plus not plus VPP plus by plus object. Example is the robber did not steal my necklace. Answer will be my necklace was not stolen by the robber. Are you clear of all the 5 kinds of negative sentence?
Yes.
And I hope you have better understood it. Yes, dear learners, let me come to the third section or third part of the passive voice. And in this part, we shall just try to know how to convert the interrogative sentences or the question sentences into passive voice. And exactly, uh, there are 6 kinds of interrogative sentences in English to be changed into passive voice, and they are: is first one is am or was were with a question mark. B, has have had with a question mark. Number C, modal verbs with a question mark. Number D, do or does with a question mark. Number E, did with a question mark. And number last F, that's it, double H questions. Let me just come to you one by one. The first one is am or was where plus is am or was where with a question mark. The answer will be the rule will be is am or was where plus subject plus being plus VPP plus by plus object. And let me give an example. The example is: are you writing the answer for the exam? The answer will be: is the answer being written by you for the exam with a question mark. So please, dear learners, please remember that every interrogative sentence must have a question mark in the last. Without a question mark, if your answer is right, without a question mark, your answer will be wrong and you will just be awarded 0 marks. So please get it into your heart that there must be a question mark. Are you clear?
Yes.
Number 2, has have had with a question mark. The rule will be has have had plus subject plus been plus VPP plus by plus object with a question mark. And the example is: have you completed your course for the exam? Answer will be: has your course been completed by you for the exam with a question mark. And the number C, modal verbs with a question mark. I have already told you there are 13 modal verbs, and if any one of the modal verbs is used in the beginning, that can be a sentence of interrogative with the modal verbs. And the rule will be modal verb plus subject plus be plus VPP plus by plus object. And let me give an example. Will you compose a new poem for my birthday? And the answer will be: will a new poem be composed by you for my birthday? Okay. Number D, that is do or does with a question mark. The rule will be is am plus subject plus VPP plus by plus object. And example is: do you understand this topic in the class? Answer will be: is this topic understood by you in the class? Number 5, did with a question mark. And the rule will be was or were plus subject plus VPP plus by plus object with a question mark. And the rule will
Papa,
be
take care, Anna.
yes.
Okay, a second. ଗୋଟେ ସେକେଣ୍ଡ ତମେ କୋଉଟା କରୁଥିଲ
ମୁଁ କରିଥିଲି do or does
ଟୁ ଅର୍ଡର ଆଉ ଥରେ କହିଦିଅ
ହଁ
ଟୁ
let me
ରୁହ
repeat
ରୁହ ଲେଟ୍ ମି ଇଣ୍ଟର ଦରକାର ତମେ ଆଉ ଥରେ ଡୁ ଅର୍ ଡଜଟା କରିଦିଅ ଯେତିକି ଡୁ ଅର୍ ଡଜ ପୂର୍ବରୁ କରିଛ ଏକଦମ କାଟିଦିଅ ଠିକ ଅଛି ଆଉ ଥରେ କୁହ
अच्छा do or does with a question mark. The rule will be is a mark plus subject plus VPP plus by plus object with a question mark. And example is, do you understand this topic in the class? Answer will be is this topic understood by you in the class? And the number 5 did, and did will be did with a question mark will be converted into passive voice with this rule was or were plus subject plus VPP plus by plus object with a question mark. The example is, did the woman arrange a party for the guests? The answer will be was a party arranged by the woman for the guests. And the last one, the sixth, is the interrogative questions, WH interrogatives. And WH interrogatives, you must know, there are just 9 WH words in English like the who, whom, which, whose, when, where, what, how, and why. These are all the 9 WH words in English and which sometimes comes in the examination and comes for you to be changed into passive voice. And please remember, there is no specific rule about that. Only one thing you must remember, if the sentence starts from who, that can be converted into passive voice by whom, and no other WH words are changed. Okay?
yes
Interrogative.
so friends now we have came to the end of the interrogative sentences and the negative sentences. These are very important parts of the active and passive voice. These are very necessary in the school examination or any kind of competitive examination that you give. And my grandfather has explained it nicely. So let us move to our next part, which is let us learn about the imperative sentences, their rules. So can you please explain our viewers or the learners?
So dear viewers, of course, we have completed positive sentences. We have completed the positive sentences, negative sentences, interrogative sentences. And one thing is more, one important thing is more, that is called the imperative sentence. Imperative sentence means a sentence of order, request, command, instruction, and every imperative sentence is known where the subject is generally omitted. Is it clear?
Yes.
This is called the imperative sentence. And when an imperative sentence will be changed to passive voice, the rule will be let plus subject plus be plus BPP. Full stop. There is no plus by plus subject because this subject is naturally omitted here. So that's why. Let me just give an example that keep the dog away. Answer will be let the dog be kept away. So with this, I have completed all the 20 rules. Positive sentence 8 rules, negative sentence 5 rules, interrogative sentence 6 rules, and the imperative sentence 1 rule. All total there are just 20 rules of the passive voice. So whenever you face any question in any examination, kindly see that whether it is a positive sentence or it is a negative sentence, find out it first. Whether it is a positive sentence or it is a negative sentence or it is an interrogative sentence or it is an imperative sentence, then follow the rule. And I hope you will be better benefited by this video, active and passive voice. Thank you all.
So friends, I hope you understood something from this video. My grandfather has explained everything nicely, everything finely. All the 20 rules are being explained clearly. So be sure if you face any kind of doubt, any kind of query, just rewind the video a bit and just see that part. Because if you don't understand this topic, this would be really difficult for you in your exams. So, isn't it to learn everything clearly?
Yes.
So, friends, Be sure to subscribe my channel, and for such more fun and amazing videos, be sure to subscribe my channel, like, and also share your thoughts. In this channel only you can get the video link of the first two parts in this video, and also at the I button at the top of the screen.